I'd like to raise a glass to making more money, to making more investments, and to overall success. Cheers! Hi! I know it's been 1 month, but hi!
Hey! Hey! How y'all doing?
I don't have an excuse. All I can say, well, I do have an excuse. My excuse for not uploading is that life has been lifing. And let's just leave that there. But anyway, I'm back with another one. Today we are going to be discussing millionaire mindsets, millionaire habits that we should be implementing in our 20s, guys. To all the viewers who are in their 20s, I'm in my 20s. But before we begin, if we're going to be discussing millionaires, mindsets, how to level up, how to be the best version of ourselves, if we're going to be sharing tips on how to elevate ourselves, then I think we should create a millionaire atmosphere. So I have some champagne here. I just chose a random one from the shop. Let me open it. Let's open it together. This chair is just going to embarrass me, isn't it? Okay, so let's open this. Sorry guys, if you hear anything outside, it's because my flatmates are living their best life. I mean, it is a Saturday night, so I can't really tell them anything. Sorry. Okie dokie. So we are going to open her up. It has actually, I know it looks like it's been a while since I've opened a bottle of champagne, and truthfully, let me close this window. So what I was saying was that I know it looks like it's been a while since I opened a bottle of champagne, and it's true, it has been a while. Okay, 3, 2, 1. I hope it tastes nice. Okay. Now, I'd like to raise a glass to making more money, to making more investments, and to overall success. Cheers! Okay, it's good. It's good. A bit bubbly, but it's good. Lots of bubbles, but it's good. Let me actually welcome you all. If you're a new joiner, thank you very much for clicking on the video. If you like this kind of content where we discuss personal finance, we make lifestyle content. I post a weekly vlog every week. If you like this kind of content, then please hit the subscription button. Okay, I've only had one sip, so I don't know why I'm acting like I'm already tipsy. Hit the subscription. Wow, that thing is strong. Hit the subscription bell if you like this kind of content, and also hit the thumbs up. If you are a returning subscriber, then welcome back and thank you. Let's get into it. So on a more serious note, in today's video, I'm going to share with you some habits that I'm implementing in my 20s just to lay a nice foundation for my future. People say that in your 20s, or people say that your 20s rather, are pivotal years. And I agree, because it's better to start to implement habits for yourself or to learn habits at a younger age, so that you're more used to it and so that you can benefit from those habits a lot early on in life, rather than to get a bit older and think, damn, I really should have thought about doing this before. Habit number 1, I would say, is to live below your means. Let's say it together. 3, too much champagne. 3, 2, 1. Broke people stay broke by living like they're rich. let's not get lost in the sauce. If you need to delete Instagram, delete it. Delete it. Don't get lost in the sauce. Don't feel like you need to keep up with the Joneses just to fit in. Don't worry about that. You should concern yourself with your actual reality, and you should concern yourself with trying to build yourself rather than to present yourself as somebody who isn't who you show yourself to be. Live below your means. Did you know that the money you invest now in your 20s will be worth far more than the money you would invest later on in life? And that's due to compound interest. Compound interest, in very, very simple terms, is calculated based upon the initial principal and, well, initial principal being the initial sum, in addition to the accumulated interest from previous periods. So let's just say you invest an initial sum of £100 or 100 euros, $100, whatever. That £100 that initial deposit will gain interest, then it will just continue. It's just a continuous cycle. Again, I maybe should not be explaining this while I've had like 2 glasses of champagne, but I hope that makes sense. Anyway, I'll leave like a clear definition. My camera just cut out, but I think we're back. Yes, so what I was saying was that I will leave a clear definition of what compound interest is at the bottom of the screen somewhere, just for your reference. Let me provide you with a good example actually from the Millionaire Mindset Club. So the Millionaire Mindset Club recently made an Insta post, and I think this really does encapsulate my point. Gosh, if you were to invest £300 per month from the age of 25 for a 10-year period, that would amount to about 36,000 if my mental maths serve me correctly. Let me quickly work that out. Yes, 36,000. So let's just say that you invested £300 per month across a 10-year period with a return rate of 7%. That 36,000 should actually amount to 51,315. I would just like to add something here that I should have clarified while I was filming. Investing your money is one way of protecting yourself against inflation. If the inflation rate exceeds the interest that you earn on your savings account, then I would say that you'd be better off, once you reach your savings goals, you would be better off investing any excess money that you earn. Of course, this all depends on the kind of investment that you make. So please do your research, and please take what I'm saying with a grain of salt, as I am not a financial advisor. But let's just say that you have a savings account that pays 1% per year. But what if the inflation rate runs at 2% per year? That means you would need to have a savings account that pays you 2% and not 1%. Well, at least 2%, I should say. And so that should highlight to you that simply holding your money in a savings account does not necessarily protect the value of the money you are holding. Of course, if you're a financial advisor, you'd understand how the market works, and you'd understand how to get quicker returns on your money. But if you're just a normal person who's interested in long-term investing, then I would honestly advise that you start sooner rather than later, especially now that we're in this pandemic. There are lots of incentives as well. If you just do your Googles, you'll find that there are lots of incentives as well to get people into investing. But another thing that I want to say is we need to be aware of the concept of lifestyle inflation. Have you noticed that whenever we earn more money, whenever we receive a salary increase, whenever, a side hustle starts to generate more income, we tend to engage in lifestyle inflation. What do I mean by that? Well, I mean, I'm earning more money now. Those spontaneous McDonald's or those spontaneous Chinese takeouts become spontaneous deliveries and takeouts from Hakkasan. No, try not to do that, because once you do that, you don't actually get to enjoy the true benefits of having a higher salary. It should mean that you have more money to save to reach your goals. It should mean that you have more money to invest each month. It should not necessarily mean that we should enter into this whole idea of lifestyle inflation just because we're earning more money. You know, I don't know, you may upgrade your gym membership when the cheaper gym membership was working just as fine. Be mindful of that, because that is how you end up just being in the same position as you were before. You don't get to reap the true benefits of having a higher salary if you just spend it all. Okay, habit number 2, and I wouldn't really call it a habit. For me, it's more of a lifestyle choice to have a positive peer group. Did you know that you are the average of the 5 people you spend the most time with? Hear me out. We are constantly, as humans, we are constantly imitating the behaviors that we surround ourselves by. Whether we like to admit it or not, we imitate those behaviors. And that's why it's important to ensure that you have a positive network, that you are surrounded by people who have mutual goals. Because if you're surrounded by people who don't take life that seriously, if you're surrounded by people who only want to live for the here and the now, and you're really serious about changing your life or making short-term sacrifices for long-term goals, if your friendship group don't take that seriously, then it could just jeopardize your chances of actually being successful.
Habit number 3. Something else that I'm trying to do, or that I am doing in my 20s, is that I'm building my credit score. We all know how important your credit score is. It follows you through everything. Even to apply for some jobs, they even perform a credit check, depending on the job that you're applying for, of course. And one way that you can build your credit score is by applying for a credit card. But be careful with that. You don't want to apply for a credit.
I would like to add here that if you are somebody who lacks self-control, then I would say to think twice before submitting a credit application. Remember, the goal here is to show that you are good at borrowing money and then paying that money back. Also, submitting too many applications or applying for too many new accounts in a certain period can also have an impact on your credit rating, because these lead to hard inquiries. So please do be mindful of that. And of course, this is not the only way to build your credit. You can also build your credit by setting up direct debits and through several other methods.
Card and use that credit card to buy for things that you can't actually afford to pay off. And on the topic of debt, I'll make a separate video on this because it's quite long, I would say. But on the topic of debt, a lot of people tend to think that debt is a bad thing, but debt is not always bad. Rich people actually use debt to make themselves more money. As long as cash flow is present, then you could very easily transform a debt into an asset. For example, you may go to the bank and ask the bank to lend you some money so that you can buy a house. If that is a house that you're buying for you to live in, then of course that house would be a liability, because houses are liabilities. It costs a lot of money to maintain a home. However, if you were to go to the bank and ask for a loan to buy a house, therefore putting you in debt, but the house is something that you do not plan to live in, it's a house that you plan to rent out to tenants. That's an example of how a debt can become an asset because of the presence of cash flow. You are generating income from that debt through the rent that you will receive from your tenants. Again, I will make another video on that. It's very important that we educate ourselves on money and how we can use debt to make ourselves more money.
The last thing that I want to say is that we should take more risk. In your 20s is where you should be taking more risk. Calculated risk, but risk nonetheless. As you get older, you only take on more responsibility, be it through children, be it through relationships, be it through financial commitments. That's why you're in a really good position now. in your 20s to take on more risk? Do you want to start a business? Do you want to leave your job? Do you want to apply for another job? Are you dissatisfied with your current situation? It's honestly better to take the risk now. Start the business. Stop thinking about it. Start the business. That risk may take the form of starting a business. It may take the form of making investments, investing in shares, investing in crypto, whatever it may be. It's better to do it now. Do it now. If not now, then when? You guys, it's 2:30 in the morning. I think it's time to end the video. To everybody who made it to the end, I appreciate you. Please do not forget to leave a comment down below, like the video, subscribe, hit the notification bell. Liking the video and engaging with the video really does help the algorithm. It helps YouTube to push the video out to more viewers so that more people can receive this advice and so that more people can watch this content. So guys, I'll see you in the next one. Thank you again. Love you all. And don't worry, I'm back on it with the weekly videos. Don't worry.